Good morning, everybody. Hey, this is Bishop Joyce walking the Word of God with you on this very great Monday morning. Well, great Labor Day to everybody, and I'm hoping that you are resting today and having a wonderful time on your day of rest. Well, today we're talking about in Hebrews 12, right around the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th and the 21st verse on today. Well, God is speaking to us, all of us on today. It may be a day of gloom for you. It may be a day of just despair. It may be a day of saying that I don't even know what I'm doing. But God is talking to the Israelites here on today, and when they was speaking, Moses was just telling the people what God says and the ancestors, and God was trying to speak to them. And guess what? Like a lot of us, we didn't want to hear what God was saying. And a lot of those people back then, the Israelites was begging them to not even want to hear what God was even saying. And even though that we may not even want to hear what our ancestors were maybe speaking back then, and they was begging them not to even speak to them any longer. And how many know that you may not want to hear a lot of times what someone may be saying to you, what may somebody want to speak into your life? And this is what they were saying. Even though that they didn't want to hear it, it was good for them to hear it, and they was even begging them not to even say anything else. But I don't want to be a day in my life that I don't want to hear what God was saying to me, because it is good for someone to speak into your life. It is good for somebody to tell you what is right. It is good for somebody to speak wisdom into your life. It is good for somebody to tell you, well, this is what you need to be saying. It is good for somebody to say, no, you don't need to do it that way. It is good for somebody to be saying, especially when it's going to come from God, especially when they are speaking wisdom from God, and especially when they are saying, thus saith the Lord. It is not their opinion. It's not what they're thinking. It's not what I'm saying. It's what is coming straight from God. And so when God is speaking, we should all just listen. And even Moses saying that he got so afraid when it was saying what God was speaking and what the ancestors were saying, and he stepped back and said, I am so afraid. And so even we may be afraid, but God is still here with all of us. And so I don't ever want to be set and staying, and we even be sitting somewhere and when God is speaking that I don't want to ever hear. And so even in this day and time, we may be in gloom, we may be in darkness, we may be in sadness, we may be in depression. I don't care what state that we may be in. We should all want to hear what God is saying in our life. It may not even feel good. And even in the prior chapter, and that's what God was telling us in the prior chapter, that we should all aspire to want to hear and want to walk in the obedience and trying to walk in the ways of the Lord and try to live a peaceable life. And then that's why he came back and say we need to hear from God and God alone. And so on today, won't you hear from God and what God is saying to all of us? It may not be what you want to hear from God, but it's definitely what God is going to speak into your life. And so guess what? Hear what God is saying to you on today and live a life what God is telling all of us to do. God bless everybody. This is Bishop Joyce walking in the Word of God. God bless.